Hello everyone, welcome back. We're on the next episode. Not including this one, we only have like two more episodes left. The last one of which will be like an hour long. I just wanted to give you guys some heads up because I like to be at least somewhat consistent, and because of how all these other episodes, my strategy has basically been once we hit the 30-minute mark, the first save point that comes up, I cut the video, right? But the last hour of the game, I basically didn't really save, especially when we get to the laboratory because of how stupid fucking easy it is. So, I think the only time I saved in that last hour was probably like right before the final boss, which at that point is only 5 minutes left of the game. So again, just giving you guys a heads up that the last episode that we're coming up on is going to be about an hour long instead of like the 30 to 40-ish minutes like normal. So you get like an extra about half an episode in addition to that, roughly. Well, about two episodes. Well, yeah, about half an episode to a full episode extra, depending on if it's a 30-minute or a 40-minute episode. But you get the point. But anyway, let's get to it. And we're picking up where we left off at the Residence. Yeah, you're gonna see towards the end of this video that I died. So I had to redo the residence because I didn't save when I left. So, and I ended up doing the residence faster on my second attempt because I made some changes. I played it largely the same. It was just nitpicky things like I didn't screw up on the keypad that you're gonna see in a little bit. I got that done instantly. And then instead of grabbing 4 bottles when doing the V-Jolt, I grabbed 3 because you only need 3 to have enough to be able to create it. You don't need all 4. And then I grabbed the pesticide spray, so I used 4 of my inventory slots for the 3 bottles and the insecticide spray, so then I would spray the insecticide and then go down and use the V-Jolt on the plant. So like I did some minor changes that probably saved me a few minutes, but nothing overly major, I don't think. But largely it was the same.
I think age is starting to take its toll.
So, and then of course I skipped cutscenes, because obviously when I died, you guys already saw the resonance, and I didn't want to just redo the whole damn thing with maybe a slight variance in how I did it, so I just cut it out completely. So you're gonna see a jump cut here in a bit. Well, at like towards the very end, like in the last 5 minutes. But yeah, I will, as we go through this video, kind of be pointing out like something that I did a bit different, but most of it will be largely the same. And the residence is a very, very straightforward place. Like, well, here's this document as well. Feel free to read if provided you pause the video. If you hear me making random noises, I apologize. I haven't eaten anything today, so I actually have a plate of food. Then I'm just kind of taking bites every so often and also taking a drink, and I have yet to perfect the skill of the mic noise gate, so please bear with me. There's a reason I only have at this point in time like 30 subscribers. Like, I'm too busy to upload often and too new. I'm still too new at this because I never have enough time to properly you know, hone these skills. And I just record because I like to record. But anyway, kill this zombie. I think when I redid the residence the second time, I actually managed to blow his head off, surprisingly. But yeah, look at how tight this room is. So if you leave, so, you know, like, it's almost impossible to avoid him, even if he does the little grab swipe and he misses. It's tight enough where, yes, you can do it fairly easily, but compared to other places that tend to be a bit more wider, because I feel like that room, like that little hallway that zombie was in, is even narrower than this hallway, I feel like. Or maybe it's the camera angle. But, like, for me personally, I get the feeling that I am almost guaranteed to get grabbed. And granted, grabbing, especially on normal difficulty, if you wiggle quickly, doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And then you have defensive items, but again, we're at the point in the game where that's the last zombie you will ever use oil for. You will never need to use oil again after burning him. So, however many zombies you have burned at this point, unless for whatever reason you decided not to burn the zombies that I burned throughout this, you know, walkthrough, then you might need to use it. But if you burned the main zombies that I showed you, you should not have to use the canteen from this point forward. So, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you kill that zombie any way you can, whether it be headshot or the canteen, doesn't matter. Do not let him turn into a crimson head, because I've done that before, where I neglected to do my canteen thinking I could be fast enough to do the resonance without him turning, and I think almost every time I've made that attempt, I've been wrong. Despite the fact that I can do the resonance in under 30 minutes at my fastest. I think the fastest I've done it is about, like, less than 25. Just under. And I actually, when I redid the residence, you know, the second attempt that I cut out from this video, since again it was largely the same, but because I was skipping cutscenes and, you know, I did things ever so slightly different, I basically put on a GTA Races video from Buys, if you guys know who he is, and I just played it in the background while I did this, and it was like a 24-minute and like 30-second video. And I literally just finished the boss fight, basically. So I basically just left the resonance, so it was about 25 minutes. So the resonance is a really short section compared to the mansion. Like, very damn short. And there's no enemies in... Like, other than that zombie, there are some sharks that you'll see here in a few minutes, but more often than not, they use their basic attack, which does not do a whole lot of damage unless you're on, like, hard mode, for example. But on normal, it'll send you to, like, maybe, like, mid-yellow. Like, because you know how, like, you have, like, your red caution, and then you have your bright yellow caution right before it turns green? Like, it puts you somewhere in the middle of that. And one green herb, usually, you'll be fine. They give you a green herb right before going into the shark room, so you'll be fine. But there is the occasional, like, oh shit, they do their strong attack, and it'll get you down to borderline danger, and you'll see Jill hold her side. So that is a possibility. So you definitely should bring a heal just in case that happens, because if you don't, that green herb that they give you right beforehand won't be enough to heal you out of the red, and if they end up doing that big attack again, you will fucking die. So, more often than not, that doesn't happen, but again, you need to account for the possibility, so definitely bring a first aid spray. One first aid spray should be fine, on top of that green herb they give you right before, so you'll be fine. Sorry, I took a bite of my food. That tarantula, very easy to avoid. And actually, if on my second playthrough of the residence, I didn't go upstairs. The only reason I go upstairs right here to show you those balls, primarily the 3 ball, the 5 ball, and the 6 ball, is because that's the code for the keypad. But in that tarantula room, there's candles that when you light them, it'll turn on the colors of the keypad. And if the candles are off, all the keypad is gray, so you don't know what color matches with what. But again, it's a super easy code that's consistent across all difficulties and all characters. So once you memorize it, those candles are fucking useless. That's why I said I don't use them, because like, even if you don't exactly remember the exact combination of the 3 numbers, the fact you know the 3 numbers, eventually you'll get it down. So, very easy to do. But anyway, in my second playthrough of the Residence that I did off camera, because I died, that tarantula room, like I said, I didn't go upstairs. So I just grabbed the book, and I turned around and left, and the tarantula was surprisingly still on the fucking wall from when I came in, so I just beelined it to the door, so I saved time there. So that... But again, that obviously, what you're seeing and what actually happened in the playthrough, quote-unquote, because like I said, I died, is a tad bit different. That's why I said you probably want to add... That's why I want to say, because I did the Residence a little bit faster. Because again, I don't know if cutscenes are included in the time, and if they are, since I skipped them, and even if they aren't included, because again, I really forget, I probably should look it up. I probably should have looked it up ages ago, but oh well. I apologize for the sneeze, because that probably hurt. I didn't have time to warn you, because I was already in the, right beforehand, but regardless, regardless of if the cutscenes are included in the time or not, I still saved time by doing the tarantula room faster, and I did the V-Jolt formula a bit faster. So that's why I say you should probably add, when we get to the final episode and you see our final time, since obviously everything that you see in all these videos, with the exception of this Residence portion, is the same. That's why I'm saying you should probably add about 5 to 10 minutes on the final time when we get to the final episode. But again, not a big deal, because we still had plenty of time to spare. That's the green herb I was talking about, so we're going into the shark room. That's their basic attack. Notice how I'm not limping, I'm not holding my side, so 1 green herb, you'll be fine. But I just hit my plate like an idiot. But be advised, don't attack the sharks. And the reason you shouldn't attack the sharks is because, 1, as you could see for the most part, because of their swimming patterns and stuff, even though they do try to attack you, because it's just kind of like the regular slow zombies before they become Crimson Heads. Like, when they walk, they can't do tight turns and stuff, so they have to do that weird, wide, So, I mean, so they're fairly easy to avoid. Like, I don't think, unless I decided to be an idiot and take the longer path along the wide, instead of going into the inner, and like you saw me do, the inner circle. Like, if I took the wide approach, then I probably would have gotten a second, possibly even a third hit. But if you take the route that I go, it's really rare for me to take a second hit, so you should be fine. Even if they do their more powerful hit, like they did with me when I did my second attempt at the Residence, because again I died. I actually took a strong hit, and I think and Jill was holding her side, and I used my heal, which was good.
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
Yeah, I saved time on this part too, because like it's been a hot minute and I forgot how to do it. So when I redid the residence, I did this bit faster as well. So saved time here. So just remember the process. Try to do the drain. The shark will crack the glass. Release the safety. Try to bring the thing down. Restart the oil pressure. Do the safety. Lower the thing. Drain the water. In that order. Just like that. And now, since all the water's drained, we don't have to worry about sharks. Which is nice. I apologize for my chair. As you can see, killing this shark is very easy and you get an achievement for it. I don't even think they'll let you attempt to get past him without killing him because, I mean, all he has to do is do a big enough wiggle and he gets your ass, I'm sure, so. You never have to come back in that room again now that you have a key, because there shouldn't really be any items in there. The only item other than the key that's in there is the assault shotgun on Chris's playthrough when you save Richard. Because you get it at different parts of the game, which I think is a bit dumb, but, you know, that's just how it is. Really, what I should have done, upon further reflection, and I think I did this in the second version of the Residence that I did off camera, is I obviously left the 3 items that were down there. The shotgun, the medical stuff, and then the mag rounds that you saw just a minute ago. You leave those down there so that way you can come to that door and use the keypad, get the 3 bottles, make the V-Jolt, get the insecticide spray, and then you can grab those items on the way back. And you can see there's a jump cut, and you can see how the numbers I edited above each respective eye. Because you have to click that eye, then click the corresponding number. So it's left eye, 6, middle eye, 3, right eye, 5. And as long as you remember that, there's no need for you to turn on the candles. I jump cutted it because for some reason, because I forgot to order, because this, and that was my fault. I forgot to order, and it took me a few tries, and then I got it, and I just jump cutted it. But in the other version of the Residence, I actually flat out did it first try, because I obviously remember doing this. But as you can see, like, if I grab the insecticide spray, like, and I went and did the V-Jolt formula, like, if I had 3 inventory slots to grab the 3 bottles I need to make the V-Jolt, I could have made the V-Jolt after coming to get the insecticide spray. I could have went there, went back down to the Aqua Ring, used the V-Jolt, grabbed the 3 things that I left down there, come back up, and then go to the boss fight, instead of coming back in here in extra time that was completely unnecessary. Because now I am grabbing the key, and I'm gonna put the book in the thing to open the boss door, and then I'm gonna come back out and make the V-Jolt. And I probably wasted a good 5 minutes doing it this way instead of just... Yeah, so if you want to save time, do it the way that I said. Like, follow the path almost, and for the most part, entirely identical to what I did all the way up to this point. And then when you get the key from the shark, that's when you want to do it differently than what you're seeing on here. Because a faster way to do it is to get the key from the shark, leave all the 3 items down there, the shotgun shells, the mag rounds, and the heal, and then go grab the insecticide spray, go make the V-Jolt formula, grab the 3 bottles that you need to make it, because you don't need all 4, and then go back down to the Aqua Ring after using the insecticide spray, because it's right there. Use the insecticide spray, go down there, use the V-Jolt, grab the 3 things, and then grab the key to come into this room and do the book, and then do the boss fight. So that would have saved you time. So just remember that. I honestly, now that I think about it, I should have recorded, because I actually didn't, because when I died, I stopped for a few. I stopped recording. I just kind of was like, because I just wasn't in the mood to redo the Residence, and I gave it some time, and then I came back to it later. So I made 2 separate recording sessions for these videos. Like, everything up to the jump cut in this video of when I died is the first recording session. Everything after is the second recording session. And yeah, and I should have actually, now that I think about it, I should have just, completely scrapped this particular run of the Residence, considering I had to reload my save. And considering this video starts at the save of the Residence, I should have just scrapped all this and just continued from the second version. That way the time is consistent with my pathing, instead of having to have you guys figure out, like, if you need to add 5 minutes or whatever, which you probably do. 5 to 10, maybe, I don't know. So... And that was something that I didn't think about in the heat of the moment, because I was just focused on getting through to the Residence so I can just continue the rest of the game. And now I regret that decision. But oh well. But the V-Jolt formula is basically, if you can do basic math, you can do it. Because it tells you 1 plus 3 is 4, and obviously there's UMB3, which is the number 3, and then the water is equal to 1. So it's a very basic math thing. You just basically, UMB3 is equivalent to the number 3, UMB6 is equivalent to the number 6, and water is equivalent to 1. So 1 plus 6 is 7, so UMB6 plus water is UMB7. It's very basic. I was confused the first time I did this because of course I was overthinking it with the chemicals, and then I actually looked up a video on how to do it. But then when I saw it, and then I remember them showing those numbers, and then combining with water and the number, and it made 4, it kind of just clicked. So don't think of it as mixing chemicals. Think of it as just adding numbers like it shows on there. Just 3 plus 1 is 4. Yeah, I am over explaining it, but but trying to make sure you guys have an in-depth explanation so that way you can understand what's happening. rather than just seeing it and being confused, because I know there's some people that have an easier time with things like that when they're properly explained rather than just seeing it, because some people just need that extra understanding, and that's fine. Everyone's brain is different, you know. Some people, it's like with math. Some people can't look at calculus and understand it. Some people need thorough explanations, and then you have other people that are just math geniuses that like get it instantly, or they just for some reason don't need the explanation. They don't even care about the explanation. They just like, hey, it's proven to work, and they just go with the flow. Like, they just don't give enough of a fuck, you know. No fucks given. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, when you do the V-Jolt formula that we're gonna do in a minute, it's gonna, as soon as you apply it to the boss, it's gonna, you have the option to throw away the bottles, which you should, and then you can grab the 2 items, go back up, and we're gonna go do the boss fight here in just a second. So yay. The boss fight, when you apply the V-Jolt formula, basically insta-kills it. And I forget if I explained this in other videos, because I know that there are times where I explain things that are going to happen in a bit, because there's not a whole lot going on right now. You know, like just walking to our destination, for example, you know, nothing going on when you're just in transit. But yeah, that right there, applying the V-Jolt and seeing that means that the boss is dead. You're still going to get a cutscene with the boss, but the actual fight has been completely bypassed. And if you had infinite ammo, like the RPG, for example, which would like one-hit kill it, or I'm pretty sure it's a one-hit kill, but if it's not a one-hit kill, it's like 2 or 3. But the point is, if you had like something really powerful, like, which actually, with the amount of ammo surplus that we have by the end of the game, we probably could have, it actually might have been faster just go grab our grenade launcher and just unload. But for people that are like playing on a harder difficulty, for example, you know, this is the preferred way to go, because you don't need any ammo. You just spend a few minutes to do the equations to make the V-Jolt, come down here, apply it, come back up, boss dead. And actually, even on Chris's playthrough, because Chris himself can't make the V-Jolt formula, but if you play the game in a certain way that I can't entirely remember, but if you play it in a certain way, when you go into the boss, you will actually start to play as Rebecca, and you have a time limit to make the formula and apply it down here as Rebecca to save Chris. But I think you have to play the game in a certain way to even unlock that option. Otherwise, you're forced to actually do the fight as Chris. So you can do it as Chris as well. But again, you have to do it in a more specific way versus just being Jill and you can just do it, period. So, little bit different there. But yeah, now that we've addressed that, oh, I don't think I addressed this. I'm pretty sure earlier in the video, it's because sometimes I get so invested in what I'm talking that I'm, you know, especially since there are, especially in the Residence, not a whole lot going on. It's mostly just going A to B back and forth with, like you know, the keypad thing being the only proper thing to explain. Everything else is kind of self-explanatory. But there's a room right before the boss fight that has the typewriter, right, where you have to do the book puzzle, and there's another door to the left of this door, and there's nothing in it. And I think on easier difficulties, there's like a knife in there, like a defensive item. Oh, yeah, see, we're about to go in it, because I didn't go in it earlier. On normal difficulty, and probably hard difficulty, don't go in here, because there's nothing in here. I mean, because I drained the tub, and there was nothing in there. So there's nothing in here on normal difficulty. Hard difficulty, I highly doubt, because hard difficulty, I think you have even less resources to find. And then on easy, on very easy, I do think that there might be a knife in here. But for the most part, especially on normal difficulty, just don't even bother going in there. Because there's times where like I go into rooms like this one, for example, thinking, oh, I might find a knife or something that might be nice to have, just in case. and there's nothing in there. So when you see situations like that where you know that there's nothing, or you know that there's things in there that I don't necessarily need to get. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I'll be right back.
What the hell is this thing?
Barry!
Jill!
That was the mail guy delivering a package.
I thought
Good
it was
thing
finished.
that there wasn't anything for me to, you know, commentate on, because this is just a cutscene. But yeah, super easy
That
fight
was
to
close.
bypass.
Thanks again.
Even the fight itself is fairly easy. Like,
What was that?
get the assault shotgun, maybe a few
What the hell's
grenade
going on
launchers,
in this
or hell, you get the mag. Because you'll see at the very ending of the game that we get more than enough mag ammo, especially considering we don't use it until the final fight. So, like, you know, you could have got the mag and wasted it in a couple shots, probably.
Barry.
Something about
That's
that
the final
mansion's
key
still
for the
haunted.
not the residence, the
I'll
mansion.
stay here a little longer.
So now we're gonna go
Just
back
feel
to the
like
mansion,
investigate.
All
which
right.
is actually a fairly short section as well. Because there's only like 3 doors that to open with that key, and then when we go to into the final door for that key, then we get another key that unlocks one room, Spencer's office, basically, and then you get what you need to get in there, and then there you go. So yeah, there's only like 4 doors you need to go in, and then yeah, not a whole lot going on there.
Wesker.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
I apologize. It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
I understand. Anyway, it's good that you're safe.
Did you notice? Barry, he sounded a little flaky.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'll keep a close eye.
Maybe it's quite natural under these circumstances. It's not really our standard operation. Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
I agree.
There are still rooms in that mansion we can't get into because they're locked up. I've been looking for ways to...
Okay, if there's anything, I'll go back to the other mansion.
I'm counting on you.
Yep. So that's it. The residence is over. And I actually don't know why I climbed up here. And I think when I did the second version of the residence that I should have shown, I walked over the hole, because the reason you have to climb over it when you first get in here is because the plant is alive, and the plant will sprout a tentacle and deal damage. But once you kill the plant, you can actually walk over that hole without a single issue. So just keep that in mind. I could have saved myself a couple seconds, but a couple seconds... Well, a couple seconds if you're doing like a proper speed run, like you're competing for the fastest time in the world, a couple seconds matter. But when you're just going for infinite ammo, when you have especially the pistol, where you have actually a lot of time, then it's not so much a big deal wasting a few seconds. But to each their own. But you're gonna see me equip the shotgun here and put the pistol away because we have plenty of shotgun shells right now for the rest of the game, and we're still gonna find a little bit along the way. And all of the enemies aside from that Crimson Head that we're gonna have to kill in that one hallway that you'll see, and then I think like 2 others, and then like 4 other zombies. Like, we have, yeah, almost all the enemies from this point on, at least for a little while, are gonna be hunters. And hunters will fucking insta-kill you. Oh, and then we have dogs here in a little bit as well, but there's only like 2 of them. one, maybe 2 shots each. It'll be fine. Yeah, but the hunters are all over the mansion now. So you got to be really careful about the paths that you take, because there's some paths where there's like 2 or 3 in one room, and especially if you trigger all of them at once, like, you really need to make sure that you hit all of them with each shot to stun them. Otherwise, they're gonna get close and they might one-hit kill you, and it's annoying. So you need to be careful about the paths that you take, because a path that you might think is the fastest to get to where you need to go might be overrun with hunters, and then you end up wasting time killing them. So we have plenty of ammo to where, like, again, especially if you manage to get every single hunter hit per shot, because you can't do that because of the spread of a shotgun. Like, you could technically kill, because it takes about 3 shots to kill a hunter with the assault shotgun. You could, if you got them close enough, and if you got them all within the tight spread, you could kill 2 within 3 shots. Because I have done it, but that's easier said than done. So yeah, that being said, there is a path that I take where I actually don't really fight hunters. I think the only hunters I fight a total of like 3 or 4 hunters, and they're all at the very start of the mansion, like when we first walk in and get to that first save room, you know. You guys will see in a bit. And then you don't really fight any hunters from that point unless you specifically go to hunter-controlled rooms, which are super fucking easy to avoid. See? Yeah, I took damage there. On the run that I didn't show you, I actually one-hit kill him, I'm pretty sure, without taking damage. But again, dogs don't do a whole lot of damage on normal difficulty, especially if you wiggle. I brought 2 blue herbs just in case, because snakes fall and they can poison you. Not every time, but they do sometimes. The first one doesn't necessarily poison you, but the second one usually does. Like, if you're not poisoned on the first hit, the second hit almost always will get you, so it's nice to bring a blue herb through here. I actually don't even think I needed 2. I think I brought 2 just to be overly cautious, but honestly, you could have got away with 1 and been perfectly fine. You see, and this is what I meant, like, in the previous episode about killing the dogs here, because you see how much nicer it is to just run fucking through here without having to worry about them, and just stealth through that, or run past them and maybe take damage and leave them alone. Like, yeah, it's nicer to kill them. Because we're gonna have to come back through there again later as well, so it's just nice. Oh, I just realized I never read those notes. Like, by the save rooms and stuff. Like, that note right there, and then the note by the save room that we're gonna see in a little bit. I just realized I never looked at those notes at all in this play. Oh, well, we can always do that in the next playthrough. Well, actually, the notes are different. Like, the notes for Jill are different than the notes for Chris, so... But I think I'm probably just going to do Jill again, because again, Jill's just easier to use, especially with infinite ammo, so I'm probably going to use her again to go for the infinite RPG anyway, so we can always do it then. This is the hunter. And this is when I made the critical mistake. I decided to hesitate instead of just commit to firing, and then he fucking one-hit killed me. And he can one-hit kill you at full health by using that attack. And I fucking died. So... And then of course jump cut. Redid all the residents off camera, like I said. Got to here. And then I actually did it proper. Skip the cutscene since you've already seen it. Got back here. Yep, 3 hits, all it takes. Who's the hunter now? Yeah, boy. Yeah, this door that had the broken knob on this end is fixed now, so you can go through both ends as you see fit. It's good. Yeah, when I can't see the enemy, I get very, like, scared. So. Oh yeah, oh, there's not a third one here. There's only, I think there's 3 on hard mode, but yeah, there's 2 there. Obviously, I kill them just in case I, for some reason, decide to be very casual and I decide to, you know, take a longer path, or I decide to come back to this safe room. Like, because you don't want your safe room areas to be hoarded with enemies, especially enemies that can one-hit kill you. Like, you don't want to try and get to your safe room and then end up making a ton of progress, then you come here to save, and then that hunter one-hit kills your ass. Just because you didn't kill him earlier when you had an opportunity, you know? Like, there's just some... yeah. And the reason I killed that hunter that was out there earlier, like, when we first came into the mansion just a minute ago, is because we're gonna have to go back out there anyway, and he's gonna be right between us and the door, and I'm not about to risk getting one-hit killed. It's not happening. But yeah, this is the ending of the episode, because we're going to save, and then the video is going to end, so I will, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, and enjoyed my explanation on the differences that I did on the other residents that I should have showed. But, again, yeah, I will see you guys later. Take care, everybody.